morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on which time you are watching me from. So today we have a question here on the board to solve. And the question states that a car accelerates uniformly from a rest to a speed of 20 meters per second in 10 seconds. What is the acceleration of the car and how far does it travel in that time? Now in this question we are asked to find the acceleration and also find how far this car travels in that 10 seconds. Alright, now first thing first, when you are given a question like this, the first thing you need to do is to write down your parameters so that you will know what and what you have been given and also what and what you need to find. So we are going to write down the parameters that we have been given from this question. So according to the question, the car accelerates uniformly from a rest to a speed of 20 meters per second. That means the initial velocity which this car started with is 0, okay, because we have not been given here. The initial velocity which the car started, that is u. Initial velocity is 0 meter per second. So, but the final velocity which the car rests is 20 meters per second. That's the final velocity. So, v is equals to 20 meter per second. And then the time that we have been given at which this car moves is 10 seconds. So, t, which is time, is 10 seconds. And then we are asked to find the acceleration. So, what we need now is a acceleration is what is missing. So now we have to find a formula that link all these parameters together and can help us to find acceleration. Now from your first equation of a motion, we have an equation that is given as this, that v is equals to u plus at. This is the first equation of motion. So this equation will help us to find what is acceleration. Alright, so substituting all this now that we have into this equation, so that means v now, we have v here is what? 20. So 20 is equals to u, we know that u from here is what? 0. So we write 0 plus a. So we don't know what is a, which is what is we are looking for. So we write a times t, and our t is 10. So we write times 10. So this will become 20 is equals to, so 0 plus a times 10 is 10a. And then this becomes 20 is equals to 0 plus 10a is the same thing as 10a. So we just write 10a. So now if I want to make a solve the formula from this equation, I'm going to divide both sides by 10. So that if I divide both sides by 10 like this 10 will now cancel this 10. So what we have left with now will be 20 divided by 10 is equals to what is left here is just a. So if I divide 20 divided by 10, it's going to give me 2. So this is implied my acceleration. I can now see that acceleration a is equals to 2, and the unit of acceleration is meter per second square. So now we have found out what is the value of a. The next thing is to find how far it travels. So that is the distance at which this car travels is what we are asked to find. So then we need to also find a formula that will help us to find how far this car travels. So again, from the second equation of motion, we have an equation that is given as s is equals to u plus a half at square, where s is the distance that the object travels. So this question will help us find what is the distance at which this car travels. So we already have our parameter. S will now be, we know that our u is 0. So here is 0 plus 1 all over 2. A is acceleration, and now we have gotten our acceleration as 2 meters per second. So we write times 2, then times t, and t we know is 10 seconds. So we write 10 to the power of these 2. So this is to imply that s now will be equals to 0 plus 1 all over 2 times 2 times, so if we multiply this 10 squared is the same as 10 times 10, and 10 times 10 we know the answer is 100. So we have that s is equals to 0 plus, so now we are going to 1 times 2 is 2, right? And then 2 times 100 is going to give us 200 all over these 2. So because this is 0, 0 times 0 plus this is the same thing as this same number, so we don't need this 0 now, so we just have 200 divided by 2. So if you punch your calculator, divide 200 by 2, you know the answer is going to give us 100. So, and what is the unit of distance? Is meters, so you write meters. So now you can see that the acceleration we are asked to find is 2 meters, and the distance we are asked to find is 100 meters. So these are what we've been asked to find, the acceleration and the distance. So from the option we have been given now, what do you think is our answer? So as you can see, our answer is option A, that is 2 meters per second for the acceleration and then 100 meters for the distance. So the correct option for this question is option A. Okay.